Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wine Country out here in Sonoma Raceway tonight. We're out here tonight for 55 laps from the Friggy Diggy Racing League. 11 turns, elevation changes, tight corners, and a whole bunch of gear shifts along the way. But I'm not tackling alone. Out here tonight, I got my co-host and my buddy, Mr. Cody Heinzman. Cody, I think it's safe to say you know a thing or two about Sonoma Raceway. What are we going to see out here tonight, and what do we have to look forward to?
Yeah, Tom, I like to think I know a thing or two about this track. This is my favorite road course we go to on the NASCAR schedule, and the biggest thing that you're going to see when it comes to Sonoma is keeping those rear tires under you. No matter what car you're in, whether it's the Next Gen, whether it's the Xfinity, or even the trucks, keeping those rear tires under you to keep that car planted, that's going to be the key. There's a lot of twists and turns. It's a very technical track. It doesn't, it's less high-speed flowy like something like Watkins Glen. So here we're really going to see the difference between drivers who are good with technical stuff and those who might struggle a little bit. Yeah,
Cody, and it's so easy to, unfortunately, get those tires off into the dirt, heat them up, go for a spin, and now you got hot tires that you need to deal with for the next 12 to 13 laps on a fuel run. But looking at our stages out here tonight, got a couple of stages. Stage 1 ends on lap number 15, Stage 2, 30. Drivers do get 5 sets of tires, and I think we're probably going to be seeing most of them this time.
Yeah, I think tires are going to be pretty important, especially if we're going to get, cautions at the end of these stages or even some incident cautions tonight. I think taking those tires are just going to be too much of an advantage. You're going to want to do it, especially with a field that isn't all that full. We've got 12 to 14 drivers tonight, somewhere in that range. So getting those tires, dropping down a handful of positions, it's not going to be the biggest deal in the world. Give me those tires every single time.
Well, as practice begins to wind down out here, a couple of minutes remaining in open practice. Currently at the top of the speed charts is Aiden Shrine in the 998. Kendall Paul currently second. Dustin McMurray in third in the 906. Take a look at those times. I think Aiden's got a pretty good hold on second and third place now. About 1.25 seconds, 1.3 seconds over second place. Just about 3 minutes remaining in open practice out here tonight, Cody. Looking through this list here, you think anybody's going to try to split the stages and maybe try to pit early and gain that track position back?
I think it's definitely a strategy that you might see. It's a strategy that I'm pretty keen on at a track like Sonoma. And I think it'll come down to that battle for second place. We have a bunch of people that are kind of squeezed in there around the same times on that board, right behind first place Shrine. And these drivers, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, they're going to be in an absolute fist fight for those positions. I wouldn't be surprised to see one or two of those guys especially try and do something crazy with the stages.
Taking a look down at the drag strip down here. Sonoma's got a little drag strip. You can bring your cars down and do a little racing down there. But drivers in a driver's meeting right now, wrapping up their practice sessions and getting ready to go to qualifying. So, Cody, what do you say? We're going to step away for about a minute and a half, and we will be back for your full 5 minutes of qualifying.
Sounds good to me.
right, back here. Practice winding down out here, Cody. We were just talking a second ago. 20 races down through the season so far. Sonoma, their next stop. Next upcoming races, we've got Dover next week, Indianapolis, Iowa, and then we go to our next road course in Watkins Glen. Talk about a challenging couple of tracks that are coming up, especially Dover and Iowa. Those are the two that I'm.
Yeah, I'm looking at them as well, and for a couple different reasons. First and foremost, I'm set up to potentially get behind the wheel on a couple of these races, and Dover and Iowa, those are two tracks I'm eyeing, so you might see me out there on track next week. But yeah, we've got a really interesting schedule through the middle of the summer right here. Sonoma, through Dover, Indy, Iowa, Watkins Glen. This is a really fun stretch of tracks. If you're the kind of driver who likes unique tracks, ones that you can't really compare to anything else, all of these in a row, this is your dream, and that's the kind of driver I am, so I'd have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, and if I'm Brad Holmes, if I'm Matt Semple, if I'm Mike Miller, Logan Spencer, any of these drivers coming in as we see the checkered flag come out of practice, sitting in the top 5 in points standings, I'm just preparing for the chase and trying to make myself get ready for the playoffs that are going to be beginning here. I want to say at the end of August. The Frigga Racing League drivers going to be beginning their championship hunt as we wait and see who the first drivers are to hit the track.
That is the question. I know there's always a split of drivers who like to go out early and those who like to wait towards the end of the session to try to play the weather or something of the like. And it looks like we're going to have a couple drivers come out here, about 4 or 5 of them on track early on. We'll stay on board with Paxton Antrim here in the 21 and see what he's got around Sonoma.
21 machine comes up through the uphill elevation in that Ford Mustang for the first time out here tonight. So I'm getting a little bit of heat in his tires as he comes through. Cody, let's take a lap on, or maybe not a full lap. Let's go on board here with Paxton and kind of see what he's going to be seeing with him and the other competitors out here tonight. So you come down to this very deep, steep elevation change into turn number 4, and now you got a big opportunity for a passing zone to enter the S's.
Absolutely. I think some of the technical portions of this track, especially on the opposite side, right here before the S's, presents a couple of really good passing opportunities, but also a couple of opportunities to really make or break your race from lap to lap. These are the kind of areas where one slip up can cost you so much, and hitting it just right can gain you so much.
And you hear him playing with the throttle, trying to get up through the gears and get a good turn 10 because he's going to come through here. And now set himself up for the hairpin, which is another passing zone. We're going to see some moments down here tonight. Very easy the later in the run you go to get some wheel spin coming up and getting up to the flag.
That's absolutely right. Let's go ahead and jump out of the onboard here and let's take a look at a full lap of the speed here with the 21. That's a really good lineup through the first couple of corners right there. That quick right-hander as you're going uphill and kind of turning away from kind of where the momentum of the car is going. It's so easy to lose it there. The car plant. And one thing I'm noticing, Tom, is that he's not sliding around at all. Very planted, very nice and steady. In a lot of ways, that's going to make you faster on this track.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of brake lockup out of the 21 Ford Mustang, and you were talking about protecting the tires before, and that's one way that you do it. Don't get back in the gas. Somebody had told me a while ago, don't get back in the gas, because if you do, it's just not going to pick up. But Paxton coming through the S's here, the technical section of the corner, seeing him looking very solid coming through here. A couple of other drivers out on track. Dustin McMurray out on track, Aiden Shrine out on track, Isaac Brock, Kendall Paul, Justin Osterman. Field of 12 or 13 drivers out here tonight qualifying laps. A lot of heavy hitters looking to make a name here tonight.
That's right. We've already got some Shrine here in the 998 car. Come out here and make a statement. Putting a really good lap on the road. 7-7 as everyone else is jumping up there. We've got kind of a dark horse pick for tonight. Might have something for Aiden if Aiden can. If there's any moments where he might and get crazy behind the wheel. Keeping our eye on that 78 and if he can capitalize here.
Well, Cody, I'll ask you your pick. We were just talking about it, but I'll ask you your pick in just a second. But checking out into our YouTube chat box. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday night, getting through the work week. Who you guys rooting for out there? Let us know. Who you think's gonna get up there into victory lane out here tonight after 55 laps? So, Cody, I know there's a lot of road course names out here. What do you got your eye on tonight?
Well, I tell you what, I was talking a little bit about the dynamic between Aiden Shrine and Kendall Paul here, and I think the obvious pick is to pick Aiden Shrine in the 998, but from what I've seen in practice, the 78 keeps the car planted a whole lot better, keeps those tires underneath a whole lot better, and I like that better over the course of an entire run. Now, it's entirely possible that the 998 was just trying to go all out and just find all of the lap time and maybe we'll go out there and run a pretty steady race, but I really like what I've seen out of Kendall Paul in the 78.
That's a pretty solid pick. We've seen Kendall be fast at the previous races that you and I have covered. Pocono Raceway, Echo Park Speedway a couple of weeks ago we were together on. Kendall was up front the entire race long. I think we're going to see maybe a name that you're not expecting up there. I think we're going to see like Justin Osterman or something. Play the stages right, gain the track position towards the end of the race, and possibly find himself in contention at the end of 55.
I could absolutely see it. That's one of the things I love about Sonoma is I feel like this road course can get a little unpredictable sometimes, and you can see some really good results from drivers who you weren't expecting to see it from, and alternatively you can see some really bad results from drivers you'd expect to do good otherwise.
Qualifying here, coming to a conclusion here in the next couple of minutes. We see currently out on track Brad Holmes. That's the double Chevy Camaro of Brad Holmes coming across to begin his time. Let's see what Brad's able to put up here. Currently ninth on the board, just over 3 seconds off the current pole sitter of Aiden Shrine. A big slide, a lot of slide. And it's more than a slide down, it's a turn for Brad.
Just a little bit. I was just mentioning that turn a little bit earlier in qualifying as well. It's so easy to lose the car going up and to the right. It's such a weird corner, but it's part of what makes this track so fun and so unique. All right, so first lap isn't really going to do much for Evans Beach here in the 903, but it could have been a throwaway, could have been a mistake. Either way, we're going to find out on lap 2. This is going to be the one where it counts. We'll see what Evans can do. And that very nice-looking purple Xfinity 10G.
Is there ever a strategy, Cody? And I think you and I have probably done this, and we may have differing opinions here, but keeping the tires cool for the first lap, letting the engine get up to temperature to make a big push on lap number 2. I've noticed that sometimes that is the way to go. I think it's very track-dependent. Here you run a high-risk reward. Because if you put even just the tires off in the dirt, it's going to discount your lap and it's not going to count it for your qualifying time, the way the iRacing algorithm works. Any chance that could have been what we saw in the Evans Beach machine the first time?
It absolutely is, Tom, and I was just going to say, on these road courses, I like to have a little bit of a throwaway. Whether it's a warm-up lap, I'm going to take all my time in the world getting there. I'll try to warm them up a little bit with some swerving as I get close to starting the lap. But on the road courses, I want my tires to not be really used up, whereas on the ovals, I'm trying everything I can to heat those up before I get going. So it's fun how the dynamic changes from one to the other, but we see Evans Beach jump up to P4 with a 1:17.207. That is a pretty good lap on his second run.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time, and quiet track right now. No cars out on track right now. Is looks like Aiden Shrine, currently the provisional pole sitter out here for tonight's race from Sonoma Raceway in the Frigga Racing League. Got 14 drivers, 13 of them chose to take a time. The sole driver yet to take a time is Mike Schaefer in the number 29 Chevy Camaro. See if he elects to go out. Still probably has time to get one lap in, but looks like this is going to be your starting lineup for tonight's race.
I really like how it's shaping up, that battle from second place on down through, I would say, even seventh. or so. We have a bunch of guys who aren't all that far apart in terms of lap times. And of course, like we've mentioned a couple times, all it takes is a mistake from some of the fast guys or getting something right and having it click mid-race for some of the guys who are further down the board. It'll also be interesting to see if we have anyone who qualified a little further back. Maybe they're faster in race pace. Maybe they just didn't get the qualifying lap down and they got to fight their way through the field. I think we can get some really interesting battles at a track like this.
Yeah, absolutely, Cody. And something else that we don't typically see on the iRacing service, Race Control has informed me tonight that we are going to see stage yellows at the conclusion of lap number 15, lap number 30, and also anytime there is an incident involving 2 or more cars, Race Control will actually throw a caution as well. So we've got the potential to bring this race back together multiple times throughout tonight's race. So a little bit different than I think what everybody's used to seeing on a road.
It is a little bit different, but personally, I'm a fan of it, and that's not just because I'm up in the broadcast booth and I have to sit here and call it all night, but should be a lot of fun. I love the fact that we're going to re-rack them on the stage breaks, and even with incidents, I think that's going to really mix everything up, the strategy especially, but, you know, nobody can get too far away, nobody can fall too far behind at the end of the day. As long as you're still kind of in the picture, then you've got a shot.
Well, as qualifying begins to wrap up here, got about 10 seconds left on the official clock. Looks like Aiden Shrine is going to be your pole sitter out here tonight. Cody, what do you say? It's a Wednesday night. How about we go racing for 55 laps from wine country as we take a look at this beautiful course and facility over the course of the speedway, see all the turns, see all the elevation changes, all the different little layouts that they run, and it's going to pose a challenge for everybody out here tonight. So let's get ready to get them all up on the grid and get ready to go racing.
Absolutely. I think we're in for a good one tonight. All right, Tom. Well, starting from the front, we've said the name a bunch of times, but we've got Aiden Shrine going to start from P1 in the 998, Justin Osterman on the outside of the front row in the 54 Chevy Camaro. We've got Kendall Paul in third, Evans Beach in fourth, rounding out the second row, and rounding out the top 5, Dustin McMurray in the 906.
On the outside of Dustin McMurray is going to be Isaac Brock in the 911. Out there, Jaden Wicks in the number 9 machine to his outside. He's got Matt Semple in that number 8 car. Mike Miller and Brad Holmes is your top 10.
In 11th place, we've got Paxton Antrim in the 21. Gary Miller to his outside in 12th. Logan Spencer in 13th. And shotgun on the field, Mike Schaefer in the 29 machine.
The engines come to life underneath the flag stand. We get set to do one pace lap, and we'll be green flag racing out here tonight. It's the iRacing.com pace car. Gets it up into gear. The Porsche, they brought out the big money out here for tonight's race.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know where Friggy Diggy got this budget from, but I hope they send a little bit our way, you know what I'm saying? That's a nice car out there, but I'm excited to see how this start goes.
The Porsche is highly underused in iRacing, but you know, it's something that these guys need to be careful of, Cody. And I think I've had a couple of close moments on pace laps as well. Pace laps can sometimes be a little bit, they can get a little close sometimes, we'll say it that way, as you come through these corners. But see them coming down through turn 4 into what will be a passing zone. All night tonight, you're going to see a lot of cars get real wide here, like we see Dustin getting real wide there. Just don't get too wide and flip some barrels.
Yeah, I tell you what, whether it's an iRacing race or whether it's a real life race, this corner right here, when you get right up to those tire barriers, I'm always expecting the car to hit it. I don't know how we avoid it when we're on track. I don't know how they avoid it in real life. It always looks so deceiving, but it'll be interesting to see if somebody falls into that trap today.
Through the S's this time, the field being led by Aiden Shrine currently, Justin Osterman to his outside. Kendall Paul, Evans Beach, bringing you to the green flag out here tonight. Cody, it's a Wednesday night. It's about time that we put the hammer down, and we say it's about time to go racing here from Sonoma Raceway. Pace car is about to be off here, Cody.
That it is. Pace car is going to peel off that nice Porsche, keep that in one piece as we let everyone else go beat and bang tonight. Through the hairpin we go. 998 in control of this race, 54 in second place as we get squared through the hairpin. Always awkward on starts and restarts, but we're going to come as the flagman has the green flag in hand.
Underneath the guidance of Aiden Shrine and Justin Osselman for the first time out here tonight, Barney's got that green flag high up in the air, and he's going to send them on their way. 5 years strong. Down up into turn 1. They all make the left-hander down there. Justin Osselman off track a little bit. The 54, your outside pulser, he's going to keep it out of harm's way and carry on. But the field being led now by Aiden Shrine, Kendall Paul, Evans Beach, Isaac Brock, Jaden Wicks as they single file through turns 2 and 3.
That was really interesting. So early in the race to see the 54 go off track like that. Immediately got the car under control, immediately got going back in the right direction. Didn't let it get worse than it already started to shape out to be. And we see the 54 is going to be the last car to kind of head through that corner. I think there was one more that maybe peeked around there, but Osterman in the 54 has got some work to do now. But if you're going to make a mistake, get it out of the way nice and early. You still got 2 stage breaks coming.
Coming through the S's for the first time out here this evening, following Kendall Paul around in that number 78 Bass Tracker Pro inspired paint scheme on that Toyota Camry for him. Aiden Shrine got a second lead over second place Kendall Paul. Evans Beach about 4 seconds back. Jaden Wicks about 4, and Isaac Brock currently your top 5 battle in the turn 11 here in the hairpin.
Yeah, I was going to say, one driver overshot it, the other driver overshot it. That makes for a fun battle. Oh, the 9 car going to get a little bit of the right side wall there. That is not a safer barrier. You do not want to be hitting that solid concrete wall. But we got a pretty interesting battle shaping up here for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and maybe even 7th in a little bit.
Yeah, Jaden Wicks putting the heat on the back of the 903 machine that that Xfinity car is
the 9
car. Talking about. You know, off track experience for Jaden Wicks in that number 9 car. He's going to fall back in line. Looks like he's only going to lose 1, maybe 2 spots in here as he files in front of Mike Miller in front of that 24 car.
Absolutely, and it looks like we've had having some interesting off-track moments back here in the field as well. We've got Dustin McMurray back in 14th place in the 906, down 8 positions off of the start, and not sure what exactly is going on with the amount of drivers who are getting some off tracks, but I guess everyone just wants to get their mistakes out early as the 998 pulls away even further. Already got a pretty big gap, 2 some odd seconds on second place Kendall Paul.
Yeah, pretty good run for Aiden Shrine so far. As I hear tires in the back, Isaac Brock having a moment in turn 11.
Oh, yep, the 911 car went around. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
And he's losing spot over spot over spot over spot. He's in a position here, Cody, that he can't back up as we get the replay loaded up here. In a position that it's difficult for him to get backed up, and does the right thing and gets it pointed in the right direction. He realizes that we got a stage caution coming in about 12 laps. So not the way he wants to start his race, but he's got a car to finish the race now.
That is absolutely right. Let me go ahead and get back on the 911 right here and see if I can't find... Here we go. We'll go ahead and check it out here.
Into the hairpin, little bit of wheel hop down there. There it goes, no contact, just goes around. Nice job by Matt Semple in that 8 machine. Nice job by Mike Miller getting stopped and not damaging both cars there.
Yeah, and good heads up call from the 911 to just pull as far forward as he could in that moment to give everyone an opportunity to get around. I mean, he knew he just kind of had to park it and wait for the field to go by to give him an opportunity to get going in the right direction. But a little bit of wheel hop can definitely mess up your entry, and from there you're along for the ride. You know, if you even breathe on the gas pedal, you're going around, and sometimes even if you don't, you're still going around based on getting in too hot. So just one of those things of the hairpin here at Sonoma, one of those challenges. But again, all of these mistakes coming early in the race, there's plenty of time to recover from all of them.
Yes, there certainly is. Biggest movers on the night so far. Matthew Semple up 4 spots from his starting position. Mike Miller up 3 spots. Justin Osterman and Isaac Brock down 5 and 7 positions. For each of those cars, we saw Isaac just have a moment and lose a bunch of those spots. He's going to be okay. He's going to carry on and race these next 51 laps. But early stages, you see some comers and goers for not only stage points for championship points, but setting yourself up for the end of stage 1 to put yourself in a good spot for stage 2, Cody. Helps you out with a lot of A lot of potential strategy. It kind of puts the ball in.
It absolutely does, and I think the strategy is going to be one of my favorite things to see play out here this evening as we watch the 906 chase down the double-double. Brad Holmes, their new nickname, and that's a pretty nice-looking ride from Brad Holmes here tonight at Sonoma. We'll see if Dustin can make some work, get this pass done as he blinks out just a little bit. And wow, there, he is right on Brad's bumper. Brad's going to probably just go ahead and let him go. It's early in the race, no need to have any issues, just nice and steady.
Yeah, Brad lets him go here down into turn 11. One of the few passing zones that you see, and Dustin last time by, even being behind Brad Holmes, was about 3 seconds faster than Brad. So I think that was the right move there for Brad to let Dustin go, and now Dustin's going to kind of slowly walk away as he puts a little bit of daylight in between him and the 0-0 Brad.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dustin's got some ground that he's trying to make up here after an early incident. I would actually love to see a little onboard here of Dustin, if I could jump one car ahead and see as he chases down the 21, as long as we don't blink out too much here, with how quick Dustin is right now. It'll be really interesting to see how quick he closes these gaps, how much better he is in some of these corners, and if the others can pull away. I don't think we're gonna get the luxury of it, but we might be able to take a look from the back of Paxton Antrim's car here.
Isaac Brock, Cody, having another issue. What is going on with Isaac Brock? Yeah.
Sure did. Let's go ahead and see.
Looks
if
like
we can,
possibly Isaac and maybe Mike Schaefer as well. Again, down here into turn 7.
This is a short.
Hits that curb and it upsets the suspension and doesn't go fully around. Still no damage, believe it or not. Still no damage on that 911. But early incidents out here tonight for Isaac. Currently running out in 13th place.
That's right, and I wonder if what we saw right there, we know the 911 qualified pretty good tonight. I wonder if, oh, we heard a wheels, oh, it's Brad Holmes, a double-double going off track right there, just lost it through that corner. You can take a look here as we got so many things to keep up with, so many things going on right here, but I wonder if for the 911 it wasn't an incident of just driving frustrated. You have a mistake early on, you know you're fast, and we see Brad Holmes here just way too hot on entry into the first couple of quarters and going off track, but
and part of it could be that, Cody, and then also part of it, like I was saying earlier, once you spin that car once or you lock up the tires once, you're stuck with those tires now for the next 9 laps or however many laps you got left in the stage. So that also could be part of it as well. Just having overheated tires and having to sit with it for the next handful of laps. Looks like Dustin McMurray. He's going to use, he says, we're going to use every inch of the racetrack. Coming through turn 10, real high speed opportunity down there to gain some time. Unfortunately puts the tires in the dirt, and he's going to carry on.
Absolutely. That was a pretty good shot of the 906 going through the dirt right there. If there was any grass, I'd say he was mowing the lawn, but good job to keep it off of the wall and kind of drift around that corner right there, kept it going. Kept it in one piece, and we haven't really seen any like significant contact with the wall yet or any of the tire barriers, which is good. A lot of off tracks, a lot of spins, but everyone's keeping the car in one piece and staying in it. You got a stage break coming up. Everyone can kind of feel it out in stage 1 and figure out what they got, what they can do, and what they can't do.
So Cody, what did these guys qualify on? About 116, 117. One thing that they're going to need to keep in mind as we take a look at the track map, we'll pull up here in just a second. They're going to need to stay on the lead lap here. Logan Spencer, Isaac Brock, Mike Schaefer, some of the drivers towards the back of the field here. Take a look at the 998. That's your current race leader. The driver highlighted in green on the map is only, it's hard to call it. Maybe call it half a lap behind the last place car of the 89 of Logan Spencer right now. So important for them to keep on the lead lap in order to maintain contention once we do get the stage points.
That's absolutely right, Tom, and I've actually got the information right here. Logan Spencer in the 89 is currently 46 seconds behind Aiden Shrine out of a last lap time of 1:16.6 out of Aiden, so that can kind of contextualize just a little bit. I'd say a little over halfway around the track in the direction of getting the 89 car lapped, so got a little bit of time, got to keep the car under you, no more mistakes, no more off tracks, and just keep it nice and steady, and you should be able to hold on to this stage.
One thing I'm noticing here, Cody, while we've been following the action of everybody else, Aiden Shrine has opened up a 7.5, almost 8-second lead over second place Kendall Paul and Evans Beach. Aiden Shrine just putting down the laps, lap over lap over lap, every single lap over really the rest of the field. So the 998 really strong to start tonight's race.
That is absolutely correct. Not seeing any of the over aggression, wheel spinning, anything like that. Car looks really nice and under control going into turn 1. It's got that thing planted, knows the exact line, and is just going down out there, laying down qualifying laps, just doing what he's got to do to grow that gap. And right now to the 78, we can see him just now coming through that corner right there. We've got a gap of about getting close to 8.5 seconds. And funny enough, it's another 8.5 seconds to get to third place, Evans Beach in the 903, who's just ahead of Matt Semple in the 8.
Taking a look here at Matt Semple in the 8 machine, following Evans Beach around. They're racing for third place out here. I think Matt has probably been a little bit better than the 903 the last couple of laps, as we chase him around here out of turn 5 into turn 6 and 7. I like what I'm seeing out of Matt. He's putting the pressure on the back of the 903, but not doing too much where he's upsetting his car as well. Coming through the S's, I think the 8 looks a little bit better here, and he's going to close that gap through the S's, and will maybe set up for an opportunity to pass down here into turn 10 and 11.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing out of Matt. Of course, he does have the benefit of being the car who's following the guy in front. You can kind of see his braking zones, and you can go just a little bit later. You can see where he turns in, and you can just capitalize a little bit more on what that car in front is doing. It's always a little harder to be the car leading the way, especially with nobody in front of the 903. Second place is so far up the road that he doesn't have that benefit. Matt has got the 903 right where he wants him, and he's going to go for a pass at a really unorthodox spot through the front stretch here, and the 903 into the wall pretty hard.
Yeah, I think Evans was trying to give as much room to Semple in the 8 machine as he possibly could, but Evans Beach, that was pretty significant contact. I mean, he's going to be okay. He's going to carry on, but that was a lot. That wasn't just getting loose out of a corner and
I
tapping
tell you what,
the wall.
Tom, I would like to see if we can right here, little onboard. As we see go into the inside, Matt checks up, but that 903, he just can't get that car turned. Just really hard into the wall right there. It's such a tight turn, especially when you're side by side going through there, and it's just, what can you do? You know, if you're the 903, if you let up too much right there, then you might just give it up a little too easy. But I don't know, hard contact. Hopefully not too much damage for the 903 tonight.
It's a difficult spot to try to make a pass, and they were able to come out of it mostly clean. But now Evans Beach going to fall back into the clutches of Jaden Wicks. Jaden taking a look now down into turn 11 here, possibly getting set up and maybe make another move, and maybe 2 spots lost for Evans Beach in just over a lap.
Yeah, things are definitely not going too good right now. Gonna hope for that stage caution sooner rather than later to try and work on some damage, any of it that might have happened. And it looks like a lap ago we actually had an issue with Logan Spencer crashing. So let's take a look at the 89 here going into the hairpin, and wow,
Turn 11 will get you every time, Cody.
That it will. And that's not the only thing. Logan is getting a lot of off tracks right now. I don't need to show them all to you. We'll save the 89 from that. It's got the 9 approaching the 903, but let's hope for Logan Spencer's race that he can keep it on track, keep it going, and avoid going a lap down here.
Yeah, Logan is rapidly approaching the danger zone of going a lap down, as he's only maybe 4, maybe 5 seconds in front of the leader. Maybe not even that, as Aiden Shrine comes through, and you can see Logan Spencer crossing the start finish line in front of him. Logan's only saving grace here is that he's got a stage caution coming in a couple of laps. We'll see if he's able to stay on the lead lap here, as Jaden Wicks takes a look down into the right side of Evans Beach.
A little too much from the 9, and around he goes, nose first into the wall. Gotta let everyone go. That is some heavy damage there, Tom, on the front end of that 9 car.
Heavy damage on the front of the 9 car. We'll see if we can't get a better look at that moment going into turn 11, the hairpin. A lot of incidents down there, Cody, into the hairpin.
That is absolutely right. Let's see if we can get a little. You could see just how far the 9 drives it in. He just gets it in way too hard. He has to get so hard on the brakes that it just turns the car to the left. Obviously, the 9's not turning the car to the left right there, but you get that car under control, or out of control rather, and you're just along for the ride. There's nothing you could do.
It's so easy, Cody, to get down there, lock up the wheels, but usually what we'll see in turn 11, if somebody's gonna wreck in turn 11, they're usually gonna spin to the right because you're already putting the wheel input to the right here as we go on board here with Jaden.
That's exactly right, Tom.
And it's just interesting that he spun to the left there because 9 times out of 10 he's going to spin through the tire barriers down there and kind of go out of harm's way. But this time he came up in front of the 903 of Evans Beach. But luckily, no harm, no foul for the 903, and both of them continue on.
That is right, and looks like we've had some pit stops while we were taking a look at the chaos that's unfurling at the moment. Dustin McMurray into the pit lane for a pit stop, and it looks like actually I'm seeing that's the only one. It just popped up a bunch of times for me, but interesting strategy we got going on already. Oh, and I tell you what, Tom, issue for Dustin McMurray. Apparently, we're going back to replays again. Oh, and just a little too hot right there. Backs it into the tire barrier.
Now, Cody, I'm going to put you on the spot here because I don't know the answer. Is this before or after he made his pit stop?
You know what? That's a fantastic question, and you're right. I don't know the answer, but I want to say it was after, based on my little feed here of him going into the pits and then crashing on the outlap. I think that might just be a result of some cold tires. And you hate to see it, but at the end of the day, I think he kept the front of the nose, the front of the nose clean, and those front wheels. He didn't like knock out a toe link or anything like that. So you can kind of get away with hitting the rear end of the car a little bit more, and it wasn't into one of those concrete walls. So I think for Dustin, his race might be okay, but he's definitely going to need that stage break to come around and just kind of regroup.
Well, I was thinking more of the tires, Cody. Right? You just split the stage. You just came down, possibly trying to stay out at the stage caution. They do have 5 sets of tires out here tonight. Just thinking about the tires and how they're going to be heated up, and now obviously they've got the stage caution coming up. It's going to allow the tires to cool and everything, but nothing's going to compromise the fact that we just had a little bit more of a wheel slide.
Yeah, I think the implications long term are going to be there significantly for that spin right there. You're not going to like that for the rest of the time you have to run those tires, and you're going to feel that, especially if you flat spotted them. We got a really good battle right here. Brad Holmes putting the pressure on Paxton Antrim. This is, of course, a battle for 8th place as we run, and Brad is not afraid to get in there, stick his nose in there, get aggressive, and try and take a position. And you and I have both raced a good bit with Brad Holmes now, and he's definitely got a style. He's not afraid. He's not going to back down. He's going to go out there. He's going to try and take it.
Battle for 8th place. We're watching Brad Holmes. He goes a little bit wide down there in turn number 7. That's going to allow Paxton Antrim a little bit of breathing room to come through the S's. If there's a part of the track, Cody, that you want breathing room through, for me it's the S's. I mean, turn 11, yeah, I don't really want you there either, but through the S's it's so easy to make a mistake and have somebody get into the back of you. But the stage just about over here as Aiden Shrine begins his final lap.
That he does, and we actually just had a pass for P4. The 54 car is going to jump up a position ahead of Evans Beach. We'd take a quick look at that while we were watching the other battle. Looks like the 903 was just a little bit slow going through that section, and look how far back the 54 came. Beautiful entry into the hairpin. Nothing the 903 could do, and the 54 is going to get that position.
So wrapping up this stage here as Aiden Shrine comes through, he's going to win stage number 1. Couple of cars a lap down. Logan Spencer, Dustin McMurray, 2 cars 1 lap down as we see the yellow flag out here for the first time tonight after 15 laps.
That is right, and the 89, I believe you said we actually had a couple cars a lap down by the looks of it, so looks like perhaps the 38. Unless he was just ahead right there. Hard to tell. Nope, 38's ahead. I think that's going to benefit the 89. Dustin, though, Dustin McMurray is not going to be happy about how that turned out.
Well, Cody, 15 laps.
Right, back here at Sonoma Raceway, under caution for the end of stage number 1. Everyone's making their pit stops right now, at least everyone who decided not to under green, and that's pretty much going to be everyone who's up towards the front in the battle and in contention here. Is the 998 of Aiden Shrine, Tom, going to lead them off pit road just like how they entered.
Through and making their way out of pit road. Kendall Paul currently in second. Matt Semple having a good stage. First stage, he gained 5 spots. Throughout the course of that stage, Justin Osterman, Evans Beach. Really impressive kind of run back through the field for the 54, Cody. We saw on lap number 1 or 2, the 54 take a, well, what would we call it? A little bit of an excursion through turn 1 up through the uphill section of the track. Fought his way back to fourth.
Tom. He absolutely did. After having a really good start outside of the front row and having that issue going into the first couple of corners, but he didn't have any contact. Just went through the dirt, had to fall back to being one of the last cars, running on track. But through the entirety of stage 1, just head down, didn't make any more mistakes, just kept it going, made some passes, found himself in a really good position by the end of it. And hey, that stage caution came out. Everyone's back in it.
Let's see, Cody. Are the lights on the pace car, or are they off?
They are on, but they might come off this go around.
The lights do extinguish off the iRacing.com pace car, signifying the 1 to go. Next time by, we will be green flag racing once again here. So Cody, stage 1, we saw a lot of off tracks. We saw a lot of drivers coming through the field. Anybody catch your eye of somebody to keep an eye on for stage 2?
Yeah, funny enough, Tom, we were just talking about him, but that 54 of Justin Osterman, who, kind of got that mistake out early, you'd like to think at the very least, and now that he's back up there and back in contention, I think he'd be hard-pressed to make another mistake like that. So I think that 54, he's back in it, he can see the leader, everything's going, it kind of back on track, right? So let's see what he can do. We know he's quick. He made his way up through the field. Eyes on the 54 on this restart.
It'll be interesting here, Cody, to see if Race Control sends them on their way this time, or if they extend this possibly one more lap. Still about 5, maybe 6 cars trying to get caught up to the field. You see the 29 of Mike Schaefer on the track map down there. Jaden Wicks trying to get caught up as well. The 906 of Dustin McMurray, all trying to get caught up here, and we are about ready to go. So it sounds like, and it looks like, we are going green this time.
That it does. We're going to go ahead and hide that track map. Is the 998 in control of the field, 78 outside of that front row for the second first restart of the night here on lap 18, coming to lap 19. We'll see what the 998 can do here. We'll see what the others behind can manage in terms of staying a little bit closer in stage 2.
Stage 1 done and away. It's about time to go racing in stage number 2. As Aiden Shrine brings him up to the gearbox, a little bit of wheel spin throughout the field behind him, but Aiden Shrine gets a good 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 car length lead as they head up into the uphill section of turn number 1.
There's a great little shot right here as the 998 leads us into this quick little left-hander, right-hander. Everyone, oh, we've got some issues with the 9 car.
Jaden Wicks goes with him. Yeah, Jaden Wicks goes around. Mike Schaefer possibly also involved in there. As we get that queued up, we'll take a look down here. Aiden Shrine leading the way as he's done since the word go out here tonight, but Kendall Paul giving all he's got, taking a look down here. Just contact between the 29 and the 9.
Yeah, 29 got in there a little too hot, and I think what we can see right there from the 29 just pulling over and stopping, I think if I'm behind the wheel, that tells me that 29 feels pretty bad about that. Did not intend for that at all and just sat there like, man, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't want to take a position that way.
I mean, I turned somebody last night. I just waited for him to spin and get out of my way, and then I just kept on, so...
that you did, Tom. That you did.
Unfortunate contact between the 29 and the 9 down there as we've got battles coming across the start-finish line. Matt Semple making a pass on Brad Holmes, and he's going to get his eyes set on the 903 of Evans Beach coming up through turn.
Looks like the 78 staying a little closer to the 998 this time, Tom, by the looks of it. The 54 in third place solidly, and we've got, the 911 with more issues. And, oh, no, almost collects the progressive car, the 906. What a race the 911's having, Tom.
Yeah, really interesting race that Isaac is having. Qualified in the 6th position, currently running an 8th. For the 911, but a couple of incidents already as we see Matt Semple still putting the heat on the back of the 903. We've seen this same song and story before, Cody, where somebody gets so close they think they've got an opportunity down into turn 11, into the hairpin, and they just get in there a little bit too deep, and they wind up spinning it around and losing 3, 4, 5 spots. So see Matt kind of just taking a cautious entry down into there and saying, you know what, I'm going to get a little bit closer before we talk about that.
And I tell you what, speaking of close, let's go ahead and jump on the nose here of Evans Beach in the 903, chasing down Justin Osman in the 54. This would be a battle for 3rd place as we go up and through the first part of the track here, up the hill. A lot of, whoa, the 54, what a shot right there. Great save through one of the most technical parts of, I would say, the entire NASCAR schedule.
You see Justin Osman using every inch of the racing surface, getting those right sides up on those curbs, and that will upset the suspension as Evans Beach takes a look to the right side of the 54 Osterman into turn number 4 as they possibly take a look. Evans going to back out of that and say, hey, I'm going to follow you through the S's and set you up.
That's absolutely right. That was really interesting that the 903 decided to hold off on that one as we see the 2 race leaders pulling a gap on 3rd place. Really surprised the 78 is able to stick so well this go around, but I think that's going to make for an entertaining battle as we make our way through the S's here. And the 903's got to close that gap down to the 54 once again. It's crazy. One little bit can make all that difference. The 54's got more breathing room, but I think that 903 is just a little bit faster right now.
Yeah, take a look last time by Evans Beach, 117.02 versus Matt Semple, 117.07. And Cody, typically when we're oval racing, we're talking hundreds or thousands of a second as the difference. But when you're within a tenth of somebody else at a road course, it's easy to find a second at a road course, let alone a hundredth of a second at a road course. So These cars pretty equal at this current.
That is absolutely correct. And while we've got this intense battle going on, I do want to go ahead and take a look real quick at Logan Spencer having some issues tonight. A crash and now brought the car down pit road. So let's see what we have going on here with the 89 car.
Yep.
Oh. They're coming through for you?
We may not get that there, Cody, but
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Could have something to do with him towing, but lost it in the hairpin, as we've seen so many times tonight.
little bit of a 4-car battle here. Justin Osterman, Evans Beach, Matt Semple, Brad Holmes, all kind of battle for the 3rd place position as they come through the hairpin here. Taking a look now, Jaden Wicks. We saw Jaden earlier lose it down in the hairpin, and he's going to take another look, possibly down to the hairpin into turn 11. But that number 9 machine. So they do have one fast repair, Cody. Based on the damage that I see on the front of that 9 car, does not look like he has used the fast repair on that Chevy Camaro just yet out here tonight. But you can see that left front is pointed pretty high up into the air.
That it is, and one thing I'm noticing here, Tom, is that 9 car, Wicks is not afraid to get in hot on corner entry. Doesn't matter where it is on track, he's going to get on the brakes, he's going to get every possible inch he can, and you know, at times that can be a benefit. That can make up a lot of times, but we saw it earlier in the race, and that damage on the front says it. Like, you got to be careful if you're going to do that. High risk, high reward for sure.
You can see Jaden Wicks closing the gap to the 911 almost every single braking zone. That tells me either one of two things. Either Jaden Wicks is faster or he's overdriving corners. I don't know which one it is. I'm not necessarily a road racer, but yeah, one of the two is happening there.
Absolutely right. We jump back on this battle up here for 3rd, 4th, 5th. And looks like just 3rd, 4th, and 5th is 6th place. Brad Holmes is starting to fall back just a little further from this battle, from the back end of Matt Semple in the 8. But let's take a look at this up front. We've got the 998, Aiden Shrine, and the 78 of Kendall Paul, who's holding on to about a little under 3.5 second gap right here. Had a little dipping a tire off track on the last lap, but Kendall Paul is doing a pretty decent job this go around, especially comparatively to stage 1.
So, yeah, I was going to just ask you, Cody. So it's interesting because last time we saw Aiden Shrine take a commanding lead, and 3 seconds is still a commanding lead. But Kendall Paul staying a lot closer this stage. Is this Kendall taking information and lessons learned from stage 1? Or is Aiden possibly backing it up a little bit for stage 2? Which is it?
Yeah, that's a really good point you got right there, Tom. It could be either case. As we see the 89 right there, Logan Spencer just off in the distance, had to tow right there, stuck in the tire barrier. Unfortunate night for Logan Spencer in the 89, and just got a little glimpse of that unexpectedly. But through the airplane we go to the 78. I think that's really interesting, because if I'm behind the wheel and I'm the 998 and I feel like I have, you know, this much of a pace advantage, I'm going to be doing everything I can to just keep the car under me. I'm not taking any risks. I'm being nice on the tires, just doing what I got to do. If I, you know, can just get away with managing a 3.5 second gap, I'll be happy to do so, you know. So it could very well be what we're seeing out of the 998, but I mean, alternatively, you learn with every lap, and the 78 could just have stepped it up that much. I think it'll be interesting to see towards the end of stage 2 and the start of stage 3 what the 78's really got.
Yeah, I think the truth will come out after lap 30. I think that's where we're going to find exactly what's happening once we do begin our final run to the checkered flag out here tonight. But Evans Beach down here taking a look. This 3-car battle has refused to give up on each other. Justin Osterman currently running in 3rd over Evans Beach. Matt Semple following each other through the S's, the right, the left, the right-hander, all the way down into turn number 10. Staying all together, well within striking distance of each other. If there's one mistake here, somebody's going to capitalize.
That is absolutely right, and these guys just cannot get away from each other, whether it's the 903 and the 54 or the 8 and the 903. But I'm liking that they're staying so close together, this little group of cars. This is kind of what I was predicting pre-race, something I thought we would see a lot of, and it looks like we've actually got a couple incidents in the recent lap or two to take a look at here, starting with Mike Schaefer and the 29 car. Had a couple crashes here. It'll be first him, just kind of loses it there, takes out each of the cones, but keeps it off of the wall, and that's goodbye the 29. As we go back to live here, we've got an incident for Dustin McMurray as well. Everything's starting to fall apart for him tonight, Tom.
Taking a look, Dustin McMurray going down into, is this turn 7 maybe? Yeah, just gets loose, and it's so easy, Cody, as the tires get heated up throughout the course of the run to get back in the throttle. And when you do get back in the throttle, it's, you know, every time you do it, it's going to spin the tires even just a little bit. And sometimes you just don't have the traction to lean on to catch those little slides like that. But no harm, no foul for Dustin. He's going to carry on. Dustin currently back in 13th place, down 8 spots from his starting position out here tonight, as we continue to watch Matt Semple and Evans Beach battle for 4th place down here. Looks like Justin has maybe put out just a little bit, the slightest advantage over 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th place behind him, and maybe now this is turning more into maybe a 2-car battle.
Absolutely. Let's jump on board here with Matt Semple for a lap in the 8 as he chases down the 903 car of Evans Beach, trying to take 4th position away. But regardless, Matt Semple in the top 5, having a pretty good race, pretty solid. We haven't seen any big issues out of the 8 car tonight, Tom, and nice and slow and steady, especially these road courses, can go a long way in getting you a good result.
I tell you what, that is a head of hair on Matt Semple down there. The driver out of Ontario, he's going to get up on the curb and he's going to hang on to it. But yeah, Matt Semple coming through down into the S's now.
Oh no, commentators jinx.
I think it was the hair. I think it was the hair that did it in.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, I got the wrong camera here. For we're gonna have to take a look at that for Matt Semple. Just hope he doesn't watch the broadcast back and realize that we cursed him tonight. Hate to see that for Matt. I raced with him on Tuesday, so I'm gonna get an earful of that next week for sure. But let's see if we can't cue that up from a different angle here at Matt going off track and just losing. Was he down to 6th place? He only lost 1 position, but let's take a look at what we got.
It's going down. Looks like he's gonna hit the curbs. Does he hit the curbs there, Cody?
Looks like just a tiny little wheel hop. Like, all it takes is just the slightest little bit. You get these wheels spinning on these next-gen cars, and it's so easy to lose these things, especially at like a low-speed corner like that. So, unfortunate for the 8 car of Matt Semple, but again, like with many of the incidents tonight, kept it off the wall and going to have an opportunity to get back up there at the end of this stage with the yellow and get back into the hunt. Up front, we've got Aiden Shrine. Sorry to step over you there, Tom. Over 7 seconds. So much for that conversation we were having a couple laps ago in the 998. Gets a little loose on the exit of the hairpin right there, but 7.5 seconds over 2nd place in the 78. Kendall Paul, who's not all that far ahead of the 54. Don't count out Justin Osterman yet for 2nd place in stage 2.
Oh, issues for Evans Beach, the 903.
Oh yeah, we've got
as he's beginning to come back here. He's going to lose 1, maybe 2 spots for the 903. Down here into Calamity Corner. What exactly happens for Evans? And he just goes around, loops it. He's going to get it pointed in the right direction, but he's going to lose a spot to Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes does take 4th place over him. Cody, I was just getting ready to say, quiet evening so far for Mike Miller in the number 24 machine, up 2 spots from his qualifying position. Don't think we've really said his name all that much, aside from maybe 1 or 2 incidents, but a good run out here tonight for that Mustang.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a name I don't think I've said tonight. Nice and quiet for Mike Miller in the 24. Just nice and steady, not really out there making flashy, passes or even mistakes. And sometimes that's a good thing. The nice quiet race can find you up to P7 like he is at the moment. Just getting a good line around the track and trying to bring it home in one piece. And I tell you what, Tom, that car is in pristine shape. So Mike Miller doing a great job.
As we get set to end stage number 2 out here, Aiden Shrine with a commanding lead as he begins lap number 30 here during going to see the stage flag coming out at the end of this lap. He's got somebody right in front of him. I'm not sure if that is Isaac Brock. That's another machine. But Isaac Brock and Gary Miller trying to stay on the lead lap here to finish out the stage and remain in contention for stage number 3.
There's our gap right there between the 998 and the 911, and I think the 911 is going to be able to hold on to the lap at the moment, being we're just about to wrap up stage 2. But what a performance tonight from the 998. Aiden Shrine about to complete the sweep of both stages 1 and 2 and has led every single lap up to this point, if I'm not mistaken, Tom.
I don't think you're incorrect in that statement, Cody. As we come through, Aiden Shrine puts turn 10 in his rearview mirror, and he puts turn 11 in his windshield as we're going to see the 998 win both stage number 1 and stage number 2 here from Sonoma Raceway.
That 911 car is going to be pretty happy that the caution didn't come out a lap or 2 later. That gap was getting pretty close. Aiden Shrine with all the stage points here tonight, maxing them out. Kendall Paul in the 78 with a good run. Justin Osterman and Brad Holmes up to P4. You mentioned it a second ago, Tom, but Brad Holmes is very quietly just keeping it going, keeping it steady, and picking them off one by one, making up for what speed he might be lacking tonight with just being smart, making good decisions, and not having as many mistakes.
Yeah, really solid run out here tonight so far for the 998. Kendall Paul currently running in second. Justin Osterman, Brad Holmes, as the field begins to make their way through and catch the iRacing.com pace car here from Sonoma Raceway. Now we got 25 laps to go as we look to conclude this race here. Anybody have anything for the 998 here as we get set to begin stage number 3 in a couple of minutes?
Well, if they do, it's going to be time to show it. It's going to be go time, and I hope for our sake they do, Tom, but regardless, that 998 has put on one heck of a poor performance so far.
Well, Cody, what do you say? We're gonna. back once again here from Sonoma Raceway as the field makes their what may be their second to last pit stop of the night, Cody. Something we haven't seen throughout the course of the evening so far is fuel management and tire strategy. With 23 laps to go right now, probably 21 on the stage. What do you think we're going to see?
I think it's pretty interesting, actually. The seeming lack of varying strategies or strategy at all to come into play up to this point in the race. But I think we're in a pretty interesting boat here. We're about to have the longest run of the race, albeit just by a little bit, on this final run here in Stage 3. And I think, you know, for a lot of these drivers, 78 on backward, second place on back, I think strategy might be, you know, if it comes into play, if this race length allows it, strategy is going to be one of the only tools you have against the 998 when you've got a guy like Aiden Shrine out here with such a pace advantage. You've got to find other ways to make it happen, right? If you just do the same thing he's doing all race, it's not going to work. So we'll see if they have an opportunity to try and change it up and do something different, or if they're just going to have to go out there and try and get it the hard way.
Well, the lights are out off top the iRacing.com pace car for the second time this evening. Green flag racing, minus the stages. Throughout the first two stages here is Aiden Shrine continues his dominating performance out here tonight. Kendall Paul Evans beats Justin Osterman and Matthew Semple. Currently your top three. Drivers that have just kind of had the night go the wrong way. Justin McMurray in that 906 machine started up in the top 5 and currently down in 13th place. So issues for the 906.
That is absolutely right. There's been a couple drivers who wish it was a little bit different tonight, as the caution's going to get extended here. Lights back on the pace car here, and put the track map on real quick. If I had to guess, yeah, a lot of drivers still catching up. So we'll give it another lap.
Yeah, and this really just kind of makes sure everybody's in the right spot. You know, we've seen this on larger fields, and we've seen this on tracks that it's tougher to get caught up on. So the proper call here from race control, extending this out one lap to get everybody lined up for what may be the final green flag run of the night. Remember, race control has said if there is an incident involving 2 or more cars out here tonight, that they will manually throw a yellow flag. So unless that does happen, this will be the final restart.
That is absolutely right. Well, we've got a whole nother lap to go around. Tom, what do you say about trying to get a driver up here and get some thoughts? Maybe from the 78 of Kendall Paul, if we can pull him up here, see what he's thinking for this last. Kendall Paul, driver of the 78. This is Tom and Cody up in the booth. You got it.
Yeah, gotcha. What's going on?
Well, you're sitting in second place. You've run a really good race up to this point, but that 998 of Aiden Shrine has got quite the car underneath him. He's got the pace tonight. What are you thinking in terms of this final run in Stage 3? Do you think you can go up there and battle him? Is there some kind of strategy you can pull? What is your race looking like from here to the end?
Right now, for the end, we're just focused on maybe putting a little bit of pressure on him and force him into a mistake. That's the only thing we can really do. He got a lot of long run pace speed, like you've seen, but it's kind of like the Shane Van Gisbergen, it seems like. I'll just kind of be like Chase Briscoe and be happy with the second place if I can hold on to it.
All right, well, we're in for a good one for Stage 3 regardless. Thanks for talking to us. That's the driver of the 78, Kendall Paul, as we get ready for Stage 3 tonight.
All right, we put Kendall Paul back in a room. I hope it was the right room. I think he was down in Darker's performance in that number 78 machine, but a good run so far for Kendall Paul. It's funny that he mentions Chase Briscoe. He's running a, I don't know if it's a Martin Truex-inspired paint scheme or a Chase Briscoe-inspired paint scheme, but either way it works as we get set to go green flag racing for the final time out here tonight, Cody.
Yeah, that it does. That worked out pretty perfectly. Glad we chose that individual to pull up here. Is we got the 54 and the 903 on row 2, and both of those guys have shown speed at various parts of the race, so it'll be interesting to see if either of them has anything. And don't look now. That 24 car, we mentioned him a little earlier, Mike Miller, very quiet race on row 3 for this restart, Tom.
Pace car down and away, makes the left-hand turn into the iRacing.com pit road. The entire field of 14 cars strong going to come through turn 11, the hairpin, and we're going to go up to Barnett Flagman once again to send them on their way, and we'll see 20 laps to go.
Position ourselves up on top of the hill right here, watching everyone try and sort their way through. These restarts are always the most dangerous, the most chaotic, and looks like the 78 staying pretty close right here. Gonna lose a couple positions for the 29 by the looks of it. And there goes the 906 again, Tom. Another spin right there. Not a good day for Dustin McMurray tonight.
Yeah, Dustin McMurray goes around. Maybe a little bit of contact there, maybe just a self-spin, not sure. But we got a battle for the first time out here tonight, possibly. Kendall Paul maybe thinking about taking a look down onto the right side of Aiden Shrine. Thinks better of it, and he's going to fall back in line through the S's, try to set himself up. But see Aiden Shrine just gap so much daylight in between him and Kendall Paul through the S's.
That's absolutely right, and it is kind of ridiculous, the advantage the 998 had going into the start of the S's right there. That just shows you the pace advantage and how much Aiden Shrine has this track figured out tonight over any of the competition. Is now the battle isn't on for first, it's on for second place, because the 54 and the 903, they are there, and they are not ready to back down.
Top 5 all within striking distance of each other. Kendall Paul took the restart in second place. He holds on to second place. Justin Osserman's kind of been, after the turn 1, lap 1 incident there, has been running a really solid race. I think that might have been his only incident out here through the course of the event out here tonight for the 54 Osserman. But now maybe putting a little bit of heat on the back bumper of that 78 machine.
That's absolutely right. Let's get a good camera shot here of Justin Osserman chasing down the 78 of Kendall Paul for second place. You see Kendall Paul gets a really good run off of the corner right there, got the foot down to the floor a lot sooner, and look at how different their lines are. Just through those couple of corners, taking completely different routes around this track, and it's so interesting how that can all come together and amount to about the same lap time and keep these guys pretty even, and it'll just affect their tires a little differently throughout the course of the run. But this 54, he's quick tonight.
Yeah, he absolutely is, and staying within striking distance of Kendall Paul. Aiden Shrine has opened up about a 2.5 second gap here over second place Kendall Paul. Justin Osterman and Evans Beach coming through the hairpin. Taking a look now, Jaden Wicks. See a couple of drivers running really wide through the hairpin. They all get through there cleanly. But Paxton Antrim, Mike Schaefer, and who else is that up there? Mike Miller, the 24 from Mustang, coming through side by side.
Yeah, we went from not saying Mike Miller's name to being the most common name we're speaking at this part of the race, but 24 is getting involved on everything right about now. We've got battles going on all over the track, all kinds of interesting things to keep an eye on, but more than anything, I've got my eye on this battle for second place right here, because I think with these three drivers, the pace they've shown tonight, and the you know, the amount in which these guys have kind of gone through for the most part. The 78 less issue-wise, but more so just seeing that 998 being so much faster, and just, you know, when you're that driver who's chasing somebody else, it can almost be demoralizing in a way when you just can't figure it out and you just don't know what's different. Whereas, you know, the guys behind got a little bit of a different story. Both of them have had some issues tonight, some things go wrong, but they've got speed. They're there, and they're going to try and capitalize at stage 3.
Taking a look at their last lap times, Cody. Kendall Paul has stretched it out a little bit over here, but battle for third right now between Justin Osterman and Evans Beach. Last time by, Justin Osterman 17:02, Evans Beach 1:16.6. So 0.4 of a second faster for the 903 of Evans Beach, and I think he's going to get there over the course of the next couple of laps, and once he does, it's going to be an interesting battle to watch.
Absolutely correct, and looks like we've got another battle right here. That's double, trying to hold off the 9 car as we get up and over the hill and approach the short chute right here. Looks like the 9 car did finally take that fast repair, got that car in much better shape to go up there and try and make some moves.
Yeah, Jaden Wicks putting the heat on the back of Brad Brad Holmes gets a little bit of wheel hop into it as they're going to come out of turn number 7. And now Jaden Wicks all over the back of the 0-0 Chevy Camaro coming through the S's. I think Jaden cut him a little bit of a break there coming through, and maybe setting him up for down here in turn 10, a high-speed right-hander entering into the hairpin.
Oh, the 9 car gets a much better launch, and the 0-0 gets sideways. Brad Holmes slightly off track, avoids the wall, but it's going to lose 2 positions now. Gets it going back in the right direction, and does just a little too much pressure from the 9, I think. Looks like with that battle settled, this looks to be the closest one we have on track. It's the battle for 3rd place. The 54, Justin Osterman ahead of Evans Beach in the 903. How many times have we seen these two battling together tonight? And I think we're gonna be seeing that all the way up to the flag. And interestingly enough, the 903 was faster, and the 54, he started to pull a gap.
Issues for Matthew Semple towards the middle of the top 5 down there, Cody. Matt Semple goes around. He's going to lose a few spots in that number 8 machine. Get that queued up, see exactly what happens to Matt Semple running by himself. Gets that curb. That curb will get you every time.
Yeah, those curbs are dangerous, especially the big ones like that. You hit that and you're just along for the ride. I think in the next gen car, more than any of the other cars we run as well, the way these cars are, you get any air like that and you have no idea what's going to happen. You can kind of predict it a little more in an Xfinity car or even a truck, but these cars they're just their own beast. They're just so different, and you'd think you could take a lot more curb with these, but they just get so unsettled and so squirrely so quick.
So we see 15 laps to go from Sonoma Raceway out here tonight. Aiden Shrine been dominant out here tonight. 1 bolt stages so far, trying to hold on and win stage number 3 and the overall race. Kendall Paul currently running in 2nd. Justin Osterman trying to reel in the 78 here over the next handful of laps. And again, I mean, Justin has been faster than Kendall almost every lap. So I think Justin just trying to set himself up and trying to set himself up for possibly a podium finish out here tonight. So good run for the 54. Qualified really well, qualified 2nd on the outside front row. So this 54 has been strong since the start of the flag out.
He absolutely has, and I've had my eyes on him all race long. We'll see if Justin can make something happen with Kendall up there in 2nd place. But as we've seen all night long, 6.5 seconds back to 3rd place for Aiden Shrine, and that's more about 5.5 to 2nd place here from Kendall Paul. And I don't know, Tom. I don't think anyone's got anything for Aiden Shrine at this point. That 988 car's got it figured out, and this is pretty much going to be a lot like what the 78 was saying when we pulled him up in that interview there. This is going to be the battle for 2nd place, and everybody else who's not Shane Van Gisbergen trying to get on up there and make something happen.
So now, Cody, we took the green here. What did we take the green? About 20 laps? Yeah, we took it with 20 laps to go. Can they go 20 laps on fuel? What does the Heinzman say?
Well, I'll tell you what. For one, the 78 does not need that off track with the 54 trying to chase him down. That's going to close the gap quite a bit through the hairpin we go. But when it comes to fuel, I usually... I'll be honest with you, Tom. I'm kind of winging it most of the time, and fuel strategy is definitely not my strength. More than anything, if it's a race where you might have to save, I'm going to lean on the side of not saving and just being the aggressor and pushing and using up some tires and making an extra stop maybe. But it'll be interesting to see. I think the road courses especially can present an interesting fuel race, because if it's close on fuel, there's usually a lot of opportunity to save fuel, but the laps are also so big. So, it's kind of a balancing act of how hard you want to push, how much lap time you want to lose, because you can save a lot of fuel here compared to an oval without losing as much speed, but, it's tricky.
So if I'm Aiden Shrine, if I'm Kendall Paul, if I'm Justin Osterman, do you not just want to get down onto pit road, get your pit stop done with the caution comes out, you stay out? Whereas,
Whoa.
oh,
Speaking of new
Hold
existence,
on.
Tom. All right, we had a couple off tracks here. Looks like we've got a number of things going on.
Matt Semple goes around, possibly Dustin McMurray involved, not entirely sure.
So
Yeah.
we've got a couple things going on here. We're gonna take a look at double double. Looks like there was already an issue. Oh, Paxton Antrim trying to get it back on track, just collects Brad Holmes in the 00. That is unfortunate there. Trying to recover from an incident and just didn't wait for everyone to get clear.
So caution comes out, first contact caution that we've seen all night, Cody. And that kind of flips the race on its head, because you figure we've got, what, 13 laps to go right now? Something like that, as we see Matt Semple also going around underneath the same stage, underneath the same moment in time. They can go at least 15 laps, so I think they're going to be okay on fuel. But, you know, if somebody had pitted, I think Mike Schaefer was on and off pit road. We'll see what Mike Schaefer does. I'm going to keep an eye on that 29 caution here, because Mike Schaefer came down on lap number 42, and I got to assume that he came down, got fuel. Is a lap down, but he should get the wave around here and maybe be in an okay spot for this next restart.
Yeah, I think that wave around, especially if the leaders decide to come down, that's going to work out pretty good for Mike Schaefer here, and we'll see. We'll see if anyone tries to stick it out, and of any of those that might come down. Tires, no tires. You know, how much of a difference do you think it's going to make? Oh, interesting. All right, Tom. Here we go.
That's I did not see that coming, Cody. I saw a lot of things coming, but that was not one of them. The leader, Aiden Shrine, decides to stay out underneath this caution period here. So either one of two things he thinks is happening. Either he thinks he's got enough fuel to run to the finish, the tires don't matter, or he thinks there's going to be another contact caution, and they'll run enough laps where everybody has to come back down. So I guess that's three things.
Well, it's a good thing your job's not doing math here, Tom. But either way, this is the perfect scenario for something I mentioned a little bit earlier in this race, and that's if you are anyone behind the 998, you've got to do something different. You're not going to have a shot to win this race if you're doing the same thing he's doing. And what this caution did was present a perfect opportunity. And not only that, look at this. The 903 is going to jump the 78, and we're going to see that 78 car fall down to third for what feels like the first time tonight. Evans Beach going to be the first car on tires here.
Well, I still don't see the strategy for the 998 working unless he has enough fuel in the tank. And even still, I mean, his last pit was lap number 32 underneath the stage 2 caution. These guys just came down, so they're all going to have about 12 lap better tires.
Yeah, if you ask me, Tom, I want the tires. I really like the call from second place on back to go ahead and jump down and take those tires. And I mean, if you're the 998, that's the downside to being a leader when there's a caution, and especially when there's a caution late in the race, and it could go either way, right? I've been in that position. I'm sure you've been in that position before. You're a sitting duck. You know, if you come down, what's to say everyone else doesn't just stay out? And if you stay out like the 998 did here, everyone else has the opportunity to get some tires. So you're a sitting duck. You're at the mercy of what everyone else is going to do. And now all Aiden Shrine can do is hope that pace advantage can make up for the tire differential.
We see the field, 14 drivers catch up behind the 998 of Aiden Shrine. Pace car, the lights are going to extinguish, signifying one lap to go here from Sonoma Raceway. Evans Beach, Kendall Paul. Evans Beach gains a spot on pit road. Is he able to take advantage and capitalize on this moment that he's going to have fresh tires on the 998? But we'll see here, as we're going to be coming back to green flag with just 9 laps to go.
Well, we're getting into the fun part of the race here, Tom. 55 lap race, and coming to the green. It's going to start lap 47, so it is. It's never been more go time than it is now, and we've got some differing tire strategies. This is exactly what we've been waiting for, exactly what we need to make it real interesting and shuffle everything up.
And it's going to be interesting as well, Cody. I mean, I don't think the 998 can make it 20 laps on fuel. I am not out there driving the car, but I don't know that Aiden can make it 20 laps on fuel. I do think fuel is going to become an issue. I do think Aiden's going to need some help to make a full fuel run out here. But we're about to find out here, Cody, as we're going to have 9 laps to go here. Pace car is going to get down and out of the way, and we're going to go green flag racing out here tonight.
All right, we saw the 903 weaving that car a little bit, getting some heat into those tires. That 903 is ready to try and make a move, and don't look now, that 9 car starting in 3rd place. We got Wicks, who's not afraid to send it in the braking zones. This is going to be the most interesting restart of the night so far.
Green flag comes out once again for the 3rd time out here tonight. Aiden Shrine doesn't get as big of a jump as he did on the previous restarts. Jaden Wicks all over the back of the 998 of Aiden Shrine. Little sideways for the 998. First hiccup that we've seen from him, and sideways off the track is the leader. And here comes Jaden Wicks as the race leader. Matt Semple, Justin Osterman, everybody's coming through. Contact up for the lead, Cody.
The 9 and the 54. Unbelievable.
Who's
this is just about everybody.
Who's going to come out of it as the race leader?
Matt Semple in the 8.
Matt Semple and his head of hair comes out as the race leader after that chaotic restart with just 9 laps to go, Cody. Holy smokes.
That was... Oh, man. Where do we even start, Tom? All right, let's see here. Let's see if we can start with this replay right here. Oh, that's already... that's already too far in. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here.
So you see contact up there for the race leaders. That really does help Aiden Shrine in the 998 because before then he was like 14th, or not 14. He was like 4th or 5th in line, but he's able to come through that mess and take 2nd place.
Yeah, I tell you what, we had so many people going off track, so many different things going on right there. We're gonna need to take quite a few looks at this whole kerfuffle here. There was a 2nd incident right there between the 9 and the 54, and that wasn't even the first one, which, I mean, there's... I'm looking at my feed right now, Tom. This is the craziest thing I have seen. Get one more replay here.
So...
Oh, it's not working. Brings back.
Matt Semple, for whatever reason, we may need to... catch back up here, but Matt Semple currently showing in 6th place here.
Yeah, I think that might be a result of moment of time at the caution. However, that being said, the 998 is in the lead, so that's pretty interesting because I felt like the 998 was at least a couple cars behind, though we do have Brad Holmes up in 2nd, so I have no idea. I think it was really hard for us to keep up. Can't imagine the job race control's got on their hands at the moment, but man, what a what a wild restart that was.
Well, if you thought that was wild, until we get 6 to go. As we get...
no kidding.
So Aiden Shrine is the race leader right now after a little bit of confusion on that contact caution. Brad Holmes currently in 2nd. Kendall Paul currently in 3rd. Aiden Shrine elects to stay out once again on this caution here. Paxton Frith in the 21 machine up 7 spots from his qualifying position. Matt Semple, who we thought was the leader, currently sits in 5th.
Well, I tell you what, Tom, if fuel was a concern for our race leader, Aiden Shrine, it should be less and less of a concern, though. I wanted to hop on board here and see if there's any fuel savings. It doesn't look like it. It looks like Aiden Shrine's just cruising around in what looks to be 3rd gear, just going, not even really letting off the throttle all that much. So I wonder if fuel's not really a concern, and maybe it's the caution laps that are helping quite a bit.
Couple of cars on pit road throughout this caution period. Gary Miller, Evans Beach, Jaden Wicks, Dustin McMurray. All those drivers are on and off pit road. But a moment in time for the 9 of Jaden Wicks. Had a look at it, a little bit of contact up there for the race lead. Hard to tell if he's got damage on that right front on the 9 machine, but you see Evans Beach coming off pit road here. Evans Beach going to be restarting, I want to say, an 8th. Looks like he's going to
sounds
start
about
back
right.
in 8th.
Yeah, that 9 car's got a little bit of damage on that front right. We'll see how much it affects the car. This is, at the end of the day, a clockwise track, so I'd like to think that getting damage on that right front is going to hurt a little bit more than if it were on the left front, but I don't know. We'll see. Road courses can be weird.
Explain what a clockwise track is? That's the first time I've ever heard that.
From the when you start the race at the start finish line, the loop you're going in goes to the right, so clockwise, like a clock. But like ovals are counterclockwise because you're going to the left all the time. So you learn something new every day, Tom.
Well, I appreciate the explanation there, Cody. But the field underneath the guidance of Aiden Shrine out here, as it has been for most of the night. Brad Holmes currently in second, Kendall Paul in third, Paxton Frith and Matt Semple. Currently your top 5 as the lights go out off the iRacing.com pace car. And we're about to go racing one more time. We're going to see the high 5 over the speedway once we do, Cody. So this is, if you thought the last one was exciting, just wait until this one.
Yeah, and speaking of exciting, Double Double is going to be on that front row. That 00, he's up in there. He's going to have some daylight, and we've not seen all the speed in the world out of Brad Holmes tonight, but we know how Brad Holmes is as a driver, and he's got an opportunity late in the race to go up there and try and make some magic happen.
And
so
12 lap better tires. Don't forget that.
That's
too.
Absolutely right, Tom. That is a great point, and boy, oh boy, if I'm the 998, I'm glad that I didn't get a worse end of that restart, but I think I might be even more fearful of this one.
So, all right, let's come back down a little bit here, Cody. Does this caution help the 998 on his older tires, putting a heat cycle on the other cars, or did we not run long enough to get the other cars a heat cycle? Is this essentially a do-over? You know what I mean?
It's interesting. I think I don't think there's a right answer here. I think my first instinct is that it hurts because the chaos of the last restart could have benefited the 998, even though he was involved. The chaos of it could have meant that the new tires, like, they couldn't really make the most out of that restart, right? And now everyone's reshuffled, reorganized, and this could be a lot less chaotic, this restart right here, and in which case that I think hurts the 998. So I don't know. We'll see. Pace car is in, and around the hairpin we go, Tom.
Keep an eye on the 21 of Paxton Antrim. He's been quietly making his way up through the field out here tonight, plus 8 positions on his qualifying run. Keep an eye on that Ford Mustang come down here, but Barney the Flagman, as they are bumping uglies coming through the start-finish line underneath Barney the Flagman out here tonight. 5 laps to go from Sonoma Raceway.
Up the hill we go. New tires and the 54s around, the 21s around, the 00s around, the 998. Everybody getting taken out in turn 1 yet again, Tom. Unreal.
Driver that I'm seeing that was involved in that, Cody, is the 998, your race leader, currently sitting 6th on the board, so he's not able to avoid that restart carnage. The 998 goes from lead down to 6th place here as we take another look here from the blimp cam up here, see all kind of where it starts, and this is something you don't see all too often, an accident occurring forwards.
That's right. That is just one of those, everyone trying to get everything they can late in the race. We're going to take another look at what happened with the race leader Aiden Shrine here on the replay as well. There was a couple different incidents going on, one further back and then one with our race leaders. And you can see right here, just those tires make a difference. Everyone's trying to get everything they can. Brad Holmes gets into the back of the 998 and everyone's just along for the ride. a look at this, Tom.
If you thought you knew what was going to happen.
That's right. New race leader. Kendall Paul in the 78 car. Going to benefit from that chaos right there. And I don't know if it's going to be another one of those reshuffling the positions based on the caution, but right now it appears as though we've got the 78, the 903, the 8, the 9, the 38. That's our top 5. And former race leader, Aiden Shrine, down to 6th place. This has turned against the 998 in an absolutely massive way.
Kendall Paul, who we spoke to maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago, currently a race leader. Aiden Shrine did not come down onto pit road underneath that last lap. Don't know that he really could have. Think we're still looking for the pace car. Not sure where the pace car is in it entirely right now, but it's going to be interesting to see if anybody else comes down, specifically the 998 of Shrine.
I would think at this point you've already lost the track position. Now you're just a sitting duck on old tires and with no track position. There's no point. You might as well come down. You've lost the positions. If I'm the 998,
I'm gonna go green
with
like 2 to go.
I mean, that's true, Tom, but I mean, I'd rather be on the attack rather than on the defense. And if I'm as fast as the 998's been all night, I don't care about a 5th place, a 4th place. I want to do whatever I can to get me attacking and get me to be one of the fastest cars on track.
Aiden Shrine on pit road, Cody, as well as Brad Holmes, as well as Mike Schaefer. So they do take advantage of this caution period here, and they do come down. Well,
that's a pretty good split on the field. We got a handful of drivers here coming down, going to have new tires yet again compared to those up front, and we've seen how chaotic the last 2 restarts have been. There's no telling who's going to come out of turns 1 and 2 in the lead or in 2nd place. You know, you're going to go in one position, you're not going to come out in the same position, whether or not the car is straight. Who knows? But those last 2 restarts, those have been unlike anything I've ever seen here.
what do you say, Cody, as the field paces around here? Why don't we see if we can grab a word with
oh my lord,
with Matt Semple himself. Matt, how you doing out there tonight? It's Tom and Cody up here. How are you?
Oh man, I almost wrecked again there.
Well, we've seen you come through, we've seen you go down, we've seen you come through again. The one time we were on board with you, we were talking you up, and you decided to wreck that lap there. So, what is this 8 car starting in 3rd on this restart have anything for the leaders on this? Maybe a green, white, checkered, maybe just a 2 to go restart.
Yeah, this will be the first green and white checker here, so hopefully we have something for the leaders here, but I do not feel comfortable the way the track and cars transition, so just gonna try to hang on and hopefully bring it home top 3.
You going to get up there and race the leaders, or kind of see what happens with them, like we've seen on the last 2 restarts? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna see what they do in turn 1s and 2, and then kind of go from there, and see if they race it out clean, and if they do, then I'll try my best, and if not, then hopefully we can capitalize on something.
All right. Well, I think we need to kick you out of here, because every time we talk to you, you're getting caught up in something. But good luck on this maybe final restart out here.
All right, thanks, man.
Oh, Tom, I tell you what.
You couldn't have timed that better.
I'm glad you were doing the interview, because the second he went around, I just could not keep my composure. Oh my god.
So Matt Semple is able to get his position back. He was able to maintain speed, all that kind of stuff. So Matt Semple does regain his position back into 3rd place out here. But the race leaders, Kendall Paul, Evans Beach, Matt Semple, your current top 3. Aiden Shrine, the dominant driver out here tonight, back in 7th place, but not in this top little 6 group out here tonight, Cody. We're about to go green flag racing, pace car down and away.
Now we are 78, 903. There's a front row we haven't said yet tonight. First green right checkered of the evening. Couple cars up towards the front on some good tires. Gonna try and make something happen.
2 laps to go from Sonoma Raceway. Drivers make their way through the uphill section of the corner. Jaden Wicks gets into the inside wall with the left side of his car. Jaden Wicks also goes around. Here comes the 998 of Aiden Shrine. He's up to 3rd place. Battle for the lead side by side. Evans Beach and Logan Kendall Paul coming through. Contact for the race lead. And here comes the 998 Cody for the race lead.
The 998 of all people, Aiden Shrine on those new tires already. Not even halfway through the first lap on the restart. Going to find his way back into 1st place after a little kerfuffle between the 78 and the 903. We could see the 78 locking up just a little bit. Kendall Paul trying to get everything he can out of it, but a couple different instances right there. Open the door, and those new tires, like we were debating earlier under caution, for the 998, going to come in perfectly on the attack and now able to just run away.
And 8 lap better tires for the 998. I think it's lights out. Good night. See you later. 998 coming through turns 10 and 11. Looking for the white flag. We see the white flag. The race is official. And the next flag will end the race. But the 998 Aiden Shrine got a 2nd lead. Coming through turn 11 here. We're going to see the white flag from Barney the Flagman this time.
Down the front stretch for the penultimate time. White flag in the air. And the 998 is going to lead us up the hill. Aiden Shrine, after having a dominating race, it looked like it was all falling apart for our race leader, but the chaos ensued and the opportunities arose, as it looks like we've got an issue between the 903 and the 54 getting turned around right here on the final lap. But up front, it's Aiden Shrine trying to hold off Kendall Paul.
Kendall Paul trying to make any sort of last-ditch effort that he possibly can at the 998, but I think it's a little bit too late, a little bit too far gone for the 78 of Kendall Paul. A 2.5 back on the 998 into turn number 7 through the S's for the final time.
Yeah, it looks like our top 4, top 5 even are getting spread out just enough, Tom, that all everyone's got to do is just bring it home at this point. This is done and dusted, and man, if you're the 998, that was one that almost got away, and it just kind of swung your direction towards the end. So he's going to be feeling quite relieved by the end of this one, I do imagine. Through the hairpin for the final time, into the line.
Out of the hairpin for the final time, Aiden Shrine, dominant driver all night tonight, comes through with some fresh tires, and he's going to see the checkered flag first from Sonoma Raceway and pick up a win here at the Friggy Diggy Racing League.
It's going to be 2nd place for Kendall Paul. Good effort tonight. Matt Semple rounds out the podium in the 8 car, and the 54 brings it home in 4th. Top 5 for the 38 of Gary Miller. How about that?
What a crazy last couple of restarts there, Cody, but we're going to get everybody gathered up in the right spots. We're going to try to get your podium finishers out here, but the big winner out here tonight, you're looking at him, that 998 Toyota Camry. Aiden Shrine doing a little bit of drifting action out here. Winner from Sonoma Raceway.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Really Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh my
and to
goodness.
the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Hello?
Back once again out here tonight, and third place finisher, Matt Semple. I believe Cody Heinzman is caught up with the driver of the number 8 machine.
I have indeed. We've got the driver of the 8 and all of that luscious hair. Matt, walk us through the final couple of restarts there, but your whole race in general, it got really chaotic towards the end. This was really a tale of 2 races from the first 3 quarters and then whatever happened after that. But how did you survive? How did you get it through and find yourself on the podium tonight?
Yeah, I guess I kind of just try to take it easy there in those last couple restarts when we were getting near the end. I figured, everybody was kind of getting amped up to finish out the race, and it seemed like for me the car got really slick near the end of the race. So I felt like if the people were trying to do dive bombs and everything like that, that it wasn't going to work out too good. So I just tried to give some space on the restarts, let whatever was going to happen in front of me, and just try to avoid it the best I can.
Absolutely. Well, I'd say it worked out pretty good for you. Everyone was kind of up and down. I feel like everybody was in every position at some point throughout the race, but it worked out. Got a podium out of it, and I know you said towards the end of the race that the track conditions kind of changed and made it a lot more difficult. But having gotten a podium tonight, having gotten a little bit of that momentum going in the right direction, how do you feel about this next stretch of races? We've got a whole bunch of unique racetracks coming up the next 4 or 5 weeks straight, and it's a really interesting challenge.
Yeah, I'm I'm just really excited to get away from road courses for a little bit. I feel like I've been doing them the last 4 weeks between this league and another league. So, I mean, I'm going to be happy to get on the ovals again. And, Dover, I feel confident about. So, just go to the ovals and try and do my thing and stay consistent and stay out of trouble.
Absolutely. Well, who do you got to thank for your run tonight, Matt, before we send you on?
Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. I'm definitely going to go back and watch it tonight, so I'm sure you guys did an amazing job. Thanks to my friends and family watching. I believe Dustin and Evans sponsored this race, I think, so thank you to those guys. And I want to thank my smoking hot wife for letting me do this on Wednesday nights.
There you have it, driver of the number 8. Third place tonight, podium finisher Matthew Semple, and I believe Tom Richter's got caught up with runner-up finisher Kendall Paul.
Second place, oh so close for the 78 machine. Started second on the board, finished second on the night. Kendall, you had a shot at it down there at the end. Came up just 1 spot short. Kendall, how was your night?
It was fairly boring there for the most part. Kind of put ourselves in our own little zip code there for this first stage, and wasn't as bad as the second stage. And last race restarts are always the interesting thing. And just looking back at the replay, I don't know if there's anything else we could have done. We had the 903 right there at our hip, and we just all ran out of racing room and let the seas part for the 998. But he was the fastest one all night, and he definitely deserves the win after a dominant night like that. So congrats to him. But yeah, overall, good night for the Black Magic Studios, admin box, Archway Industrial Coatings, number 78.
Yeah, crazy couple of final restarts there. Saw 2 in about, I don't know, call it maybe about 10 laps out there. Saw the 78 take the lead there for a couple of minutes, and I mean, you also saw Aiden come through with those fresh tires. Anything you might have been able to do differently down there with 2 and 1 lap to go to maybe try to catch him? You came within about 1.5 seconds of him down there at the finish.
Once he got by it, he was hard to catch, and he was very fast in the short run, and we were starting to find that speed, but think we just kind of got caught up in the moment there on the last green-white checkered, so kind of mentally got thrown off there and just settled there for second. So, I mean, could we maybe pushed a little bit harder? Yeah, but I think those fresh tires were going to prevail for the 998 either way. So, yeah, congrats to him, and we'll go under Dover next week.
Dover, Indianapolis, Iowa, the next couple of races, followed by Watkins Glen, another road course. Any of those tracks that you got circled that we might see the 78 in victory lane at?
I mean, really, honestly, I haven't really raced any of them in the Cup car. Got an Indianapolis circled, though, definitely. We're tend to do a little bit better on the bigger ovals and that sort of thing. And, I mean, Dover, we are off and on there with Xfinity cars and trucks, so we'll see how that night goes next week. But definitely, I'm going to try to put us in contention for any win on any down the road, and I think we got an equal chance anywhere. Those list of 4 right there.
All right, well, Kendall Paul coming home second, a podium finish out here tonight, a solid run for the 78 machine. Kendall, we're going to open up the floor for anybody you want to thank, say hello to, say I love you to. Out here, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, I got to thank all the sponsors, Black Magic Studios, Admin Box, Archery Dash Recordings, SKP Sport Tracker 78. I got to thank my teammate in here, Justin Osterman. Put on a hell of a race. Wished a little bit better of an outcome for him, but I think he's finished for, so still a pretty solid day for him. Got to thank everybody over at Dark Horse Performance that doesn't race this league with us, and I got to thank them, and got to thank the families and friends watching, and got to thank you guys here in the broadcast for putting this on and making the broadcast looking nice, and thanks to all the league owners to running and operating this league, and yeah.
Well, we are glad to do it. Kendall, congratulations on a second place finish. We're going to kick you out of here, let you go debrief with your team on a second place finish, but a good run for the 78, and maybe we'll see you up there towards the front on the.
Yep, for sure. Thanks, guys.
All right, I've got a race winner, the 998 8-inch Shrine tonight put on a dominating performance. It looked like it was all going to fall apart towards the end, but chaos breeds chaos, and it just swung your way towards the end. Walk us through your race, and more specifically that last little bit, Aiden, because wow, what a tale of two races that was.
Oh yeah, the beginning of the part of the race was going pretty smooth for me, but yeah, towards the end there, I was just trying not. If I got past turn 1, I knew I was gonna probably win the race. So when I got into trouble a little bit on one of those restarts, kind of needed those new tires to get back to the front.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw just how much of a difference those new tires made, and going into that restart, we wasn't too sure, which way it was going to swing on that. And even when you had the opportunity to take those tires for that last restart, it seemed like, were you too buried in traffic? How was that going to be? But everyone just kind of gone into everyone on those restarts, and the seas parted. So fastest car definitely won tonight. Walk us through this track, and is it like are road courses something that you kind of circle on the calendar when they come up, or is it more of a Sonoma thing and it being a more technical thing? Like how does that play out for you?
I definitely enjoy the road courses. I've never had a ton of success, but I just put in a lot of practice at Sonoma because it was never one of my best tracks, so I just try to practice a lot, this last week. But it is very difficult. Like, it's very easy to make a mistake, like overdrive corner, and definitely gets very slick at the end of a run with the old tires. So I was just trying to take it easy, not make mistakes most of the race.
Absolutely. Well, you ran a pretty flawless race, if not for all the chaos that ensued on those restarts, and that practice definitely made perfect. So I'm going to open up the floor to you. Who do you got to thank for this run tonight? Any shout-outs you want to give before we end it up?
Thanks to Dustin and Evans. I think they sponsored this race. And thanks to Matthew. He got me into this league. I was in a hosted race with him, so he reached out, asked me if I wanted to join this, so thanks to him.
All right, well, there you have it. Your race winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the 998 8-inch Shrine, showing up to Sonoma and making it happen. What a night we witnessed here tonight, Tom.
Fun little race that we had out here. Race number 20 of the Friggy Diggy Racing League season. 8-inch Shrine comes out the big winner out here tonight. 14 cars strong from Sonoma Raceway. Kendall Paul finished second. Matt Semple, we just talked to your podium as we take a look here of your finishing results out here tonight, Cody. What a fun race that we had.
There we go. There, it's up a little bit delayed, but yeah, we did have a crazy one. This was one of better Sonoma races that I've ever seen. If I'm gonna be honest, this is a fun track to race, but oftentimes you don't get something as exciting as what we got tonight. So great stuff from all the drivers here in the Frigidigi Racing League for race number 20, and we're getting into the later part of the season, so it's going to be really interesting in the next couple of weeks. But Aiden Shrine going to come home in P1, winning tonight. Kendall Paul in second place. By the time the checkered flag flies, Matt Simple in third, Justin Osserman in the 54 comes home in fourth, and Gary Miller up 7 positions for a top 5 finish tonight in the 38 car.
Jaden Wicks, we saw flashes of brilliance from the number 9 machine out there tonight, including a possible win just a couple of laps ago. Jaden Wicks going to come home in 6th place, just outside the top 5. Brad comes home in 7th. Evans Beach, Mike Schaefer, and the quiet driver of the night, Mike Miller, comes home in solid top 10.
In 11th place, it's going to be the 21 rather of Paxton Antrim. In 12th place, the 906 Dustin McMurray is going to be happy that this race is over. Looking forward to Dover next week. In 13th place, the 911 car Isaac Brock, and shotgun on the field is the 89 Logan Spencer in 14th and final position.
Well, Cody, 11 turns down and away, and you kind of teased us earlier out here tonight. Maybe we get to see Cody Heinzman out there joining the ranks of the Frigidigi Racing League in the coming weeks. Maybe Dover, Indy, Iowa, maybe Watkins Glen. Any of those races that we'll see the 928.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Tom, it'll depend on which ones we're broadcasting and which ones we aren't, because the ones that we aren't, I might have an opportunity to jump up in there. And I really like Dover, I really like Indy, and I think if I'm going to jump in on a road course, Watkins Glen could be pretty fun. So we'll see what happens. Definitely won't be there for too many of them, but you might see me jump on track here and there and see how I stack up against these guys.
Well, Cody, thanks for doing this with me, as always. A lot of fun here from the Frigidigi Racing League. Want to thank the race sponsors out here tonight for allowing us to come in, and the race administrators for allowing us to come in and broadcast their Sonoma race out here. But 55 laps down and away. Aiden Shrine, big winner out here tonight from Sonoma Raceway, from Wine Country. Until next time, we'll see you on the Cyber Thing.